I'm Dennis Wirth of the Comedy Kitchen, and I'm running for president. Read my lips. No high food prices. No, I'm only joking. I'm not running for president. I'm doing a cooking show, and if you know me, I work in a local restaurant in Leominster, and it's right downtown Leominster. And while I'm working in the restaurant, I have seen a politician walking around town. He's been campaigning hard, and he's out in 100-degree weather campaigning, rain, shine, sleet, snow. He's out there. And when you put that much dedication into something, you deserve to be heard. So we're going to have him on the Comedy Kitchen here. He's going to give you a speech, and whether you agree or whether you don't agree, he deserves to be heard if you put that much work into something. So with no further ado, I'd like to welcome my new friend. Please get up to Mr. Steve Cody. Thanks for coming on, Steve.
Thank you.
Go get him.
Thank you. One of the reasons why I'm running is because it's getting sick and tiring of seeing these city councilors arguing, pointing fingers, and not even really considering the true concerns of the people. I actually started off January 21st, getting signatures, knocking on doors, snow or sleet, rain, 100 degrees. I don't care. I want to represent the people. I've been into politics since I was 9 years old. I worked for Romney and Brown, and I want to try and get better police, better fire, trying to lower the tax rate here, trying to work with small businesses, try and get low-income families the help they need in the city, and try and do whatever I can for the people. And I hope I really do get elected on November 5th, and I think it's an honor to be here today, so I wanted to thank Dennis for that, so that's what I have to say.
All right, thank you very much for Steve Cody coming on, making this quick announcement. And you know what? The most important thing is to get out there and vote, okay? No matter who you vote for, you know, get out there, place your vote, and support the great city of Leominster, because, hey, that's what we're doing. And I'll be right back with our comedian guest, so get ready to laugh, and we're going to be cooking some good stuff up today. And I will see you in a few. Welcome back to the Comedy Kitchen. I'm your host, Dennis Wirth, and I want to thank politician Steve Cody for being on. He's running for city council, and look out for him in a few years. He may just be Mayor of Leominster. You never know, folks, okay? But hey, what we're doing here is I'm a comedian out of New England. You guys know this, and I'm bringing on all my friends from the comedy world to do my two favorite things, to cook up and eat some food, and to do some stand-up comedy. We're having fun with that. And, you know, we're not trying to trick you here in the Comedy Kitchen. You know, some of these cooking shows you tune in, and that's the reason you tune in, because it's nothing you can do yourself. You got to watch a pro do it. We're not doing anything going to confuse you. You can do this at home in your own kitchen. We're doing simple recipes that, you know, if you got two left hands, you can still cook them, baby, okay? So what we're going to be making up today is Mom's world-famous coconut balls. The holiday season is coming, and every holiday season our family gets together, and everybody's got to bring one dish, and we always ask, what do you want us to bring? And the one thing they always want is the coconut balls. So we're going to teach you how to make those up for the holiday season, and as always, I brought on one of my guests. Please welcome Mr. Bruce Chester. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, Dennis. How are you?
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. All right, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, you ready to cook up some coconut balls today?
Yeah, let's do some balls here.
Good stuff. All right, it is the Comedy Kitchen, so we do the cooking thing and the comedy thing. Before we get started, tell the guests, how did you get started out in comedy?
Well, well, I'm an actor by trade, and I figured that it'd be nice that to prove to my wife that I wasn't a deadbeat, so I thought I'd go out and actually not spend hours doing theater, and rather go out and bring the funny, and still work a regular day job, and
Sure.
prove to my wife that I'm actually have a net worth.
There you go. And it's all, you keep your hand in a little bit of everything. You do a little acting, a little comedy, a little this, a little this, and hopefully something works out for you. I do the TV show here. I do the comedy. I got a radio show. It's good to keep busy, and, You don't want to upset the wife, Bruce. Don't
No,
upset the
no,
wife.
this
That's a
is
bad
not,
movie. You know that.
Yeah, not a fun time.
All right, first thing we're going to need to do is you're going to get out your trusty pan here that we're going to make the coconut balls in, put it on the burner,
Okay.
and you want to just turn that on to a very low simmer. All right, first thing we're going to need is 1 cup of dates. So I think you got dates over there.
Dates.
And you pull those open. Got our little trusty cup here.
The one thing I didn't have in high school. Anyway.
A date.
Oh, it's just.
He's on cue. All right, I'm going to pour those right up to the 1 cup line.
Okay. It's okay. And we'll just fill that. And I think.
Hey, that's a pretty good measurement. Boom, we could have poured those in first. All right, that's always a good thing. We need a 1 cup of sugar we're going to put in there.
Okay.
Got your sugar,
So
we'll get our
got the
cup
sugar.
again, and you put a little extra, you know. It's sugar, man, it's sweet.
Give a little something there.
What do we got?
Oh, we good?
Who does the cooking at your house, Bruce? You or the
I
wife?
do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so you make your wife some good meals, do you?
Oh, I do. Some of them are actually edible. Wow,
That's what
how
we
old is
strive
that
for
joke,
here,
right?
right? Hey.
How old is that joke?
All right, man. All right. So on the comedy scene, I know you play a lot of my rooms a lot. If you want to check out my website, go to www.denniswirth.webs.com. Joke in the Box Comedy Clubs. Bruce is a regular in my clubs, but where else are some of the places people can catch you doing comedy or film, or tell them what you're doing?
Well, I just worked on a movie called American Hustle, which was filmed in Worcester and Salem. I did 2 days shoot on that. That's with Bradley Cooper and Amy Adams. Right now I'm actually working on a play that was written by myself and my mentor about the first Black Civil War Medal of Honor winner, William Harvey Carney. And you can see that on Facebook. I've got a Facebook page for it. It's called Hold High the Flag, Sergeant Carney. And we're looking to perform it. It's probably going to be more something I'm doing at schools and libraries to start off with, but I'm working with New Players Guild in Fitchburg to try and get a full-fledged production on it. So still working on the script.
Yeah.
So it's so this is some of the things doing. And then of course JD Chasers, first Thursday every month with Dennis. I'm doing there, and you'll be seeing me pretty much at most open mic nights around the Central Mass area.
Up in Hudson, New Hampshire, you can catch Bruce up at JD Chase's first Thursday every month. We're up there, and that's good stuff. We all often have guests, and they talk about we can do what we love to do, and you can help out a good cause at the same time. So what you're doing, it's good to help out. And if the people want to check out your website, tell them what's your website.
You can see my Facebook on just facebook.com/Bruce Chester. You can go to www.brucechester.com. That's still on there. It's very nice and purple, and that's for my daughter. And we'll see how long that lasts. She's in college. So.
All right, well, get a purple website. Check it out. Let them know you're there. And I was on your website checking it out. I saw one of the things you promised your mom was that you would do clean comedy. And that was a promise you made to your mom. And I know I've had you up. You tell stories. You stick to clean. Tell them a little bit about that. You promised you made to your mom.
Well, several years ago, matter of fact, when I was a teenager, Eddie Murphy was real popular. You know, the Beverly Hills Cop, and he was doing Eddie Murphy Raw. And my mom loved Eddie Murphy, but she didn't like the language he used to use. And along with my faith, my mom just kind of out of the blue promised me if you ever do that, you'll always keep it clean. I said, sure. And unfortunately, my mom has fallen on ill health, but I made that promise, and I'm keeping to it. And on top of that, I've actually been able to meet and talk to a few nationally owned comics. A good friend of mine, Darren Strublow, is very, very funny, clean comic. And I actually got a chance, believe it or not, to drive Louis Anderson to the airport.
I used to work met Louis, huh?
I did, yeah.
That's great.
I was working for a company, a livery service company in Boston, picked him up at the airport, and we're going down to the Cape, and just had a great time. It's about an hour ride, so I figured, I'm going to lose my job if I bring this up, but I took a chance, and Louis is a great guy.
Is he a fun guy to be with?
Yeah. He's one of his desires or goals is actually do a comedy college, and so to kind of get that started, he'll actually give you 10 minutes of his stand-up. If you can get to Las Vegas, which I almost did, I can get as far as Colorado. But if you get out to Las Vegas, he'll sometimes even just an audience member, he'll give him 10 minutes of the show.
I saw a special on Louis Anderson, and he said, if you come out to Las Vegas and you promise me you got a killer 5-minute set, I'm going to let you do it in my club.
It's true.
Not a lot of clubs will let you do that. That's really good. He gives back to comedy like that. It's good to give back. And he's a big guy like us, Bruce, and if you're big, you're usually jolly. So I'm sure he's a jolly guy. You know how that is. All right, get back to our coconut balls. Next thing we need is a half a cup of margarine. Okay. So if you want to grab that out, it's actually one stick. Peel it open and throw it right in there. And you want to stir this lightly occasionally so you don't get it sticking to the bottom of the pot as we're getting going here. All right, a little bit of margarine in there, and we're doing good.
Leave that there.
All right. After that, we're going to need 1 egg. You want to crack the egg in, or you want me to?
I will crack the egg.
You can handle the
I will
egg.
crack
All
the
right,
egg.
Greg.
I like eggs.
You want to handle these? All right. There you go. Just like a professional. See? See, some people I have on, they know how to cook, and some people don't. Bruce knows how to cook. He knows what he's doing.
I enjoy it.
That's all good stuff. All right. So as we're going here, I know you. How long have you been doing comedy for now?
Semi-professionally, but since 2004. I actually got a chance to compete on the national level down in Florida under a show. It's called Fashion Rock, and that's actually trying to get it on. If you go to my YouTube page, I'm also on YouTube. I actually have a clip of me just walking across the stage, and that's the only evidence I have of it.
Oh, okay.
So
you have the proof, but ain't much.
Right. I didn't win the competition, but it was a great experience because it actually really crystallized my act. It actually, it taught me a lot of things that, under pressure a little bit, not bad in a way, but, and it was good. I mean, that's actually where I learned that clean comedy does work, because I don't know if you ever remember Ellen Cleghorn. She used to be on Saturday Night Live, and she wrote for Roseanne. She was the MC of the show, and she did a workshop with all of us doing comedy. And oddly enough, she played the first 5 minutes on a DVD player on stage in the workshop, the first 5 minutes of Eddie Murphy Raw. And after 5 minutes, she turned it off, and she said, "Look how he comes out. He's very confident. He's very, commands the stage." And then she had this look, and the look was something like that. She went, and I knew what was coming. And here's what she said, and I never forgot this. She says, "Be prepared to keep your act clean unless you want to play certain types of venues and have a certain type of audience." Oh, yeah. And nothing, I mean, there are a lot of great comics out there that, are PG-13 R-rated, and I have nothing but respect for them. But like Louis said, like Ellen said, if you work clean, you always work.
Yeah,
So.
it's a lot easier to make a clean act dirty than it is to make a dirty act clean. It's very difficult.
Some guys, you got guys like Dane Cook who can make it work. I'm just not one of those guys.
You'll work a lot more in comedy if you do clean comedy, and some of Jerry Seinfeld, Ray Romano. I mean, there's plenty who do keep it clean, and they make a go of it. The thing where the dirty comedy, you're going to get the huge belly laughs. Well, the clean comedy, you're going to get a steady regular laugh. So depends on what you do. I mean, I grew up listening to Sam Kinison, and I do some clean and some dirty. I made no promise to my mom. I tell some dirty jokes. I'm just going to tell you right now, but she loves me anyway. See, because she helped me make the coconut ball, so I know. Yeah. All right. So all the years you've been doing comedy, tell the folks, what's one of your favorite memories from comedy? You look back, what's one of your favorite stories?
One of my favorite stories. Actually, I did a show in Townsend a few years ago, and it was a Townsend 275th anniversary celebration show, and it was a talent show. And I came out and I had this stage, and it was probably one of the best shows I've ever done. Unfortunately, to this day, I know there's a video of it out there somewhere. I haven't been able to get it. But afterwards, someone I had not seen since I was literally 6 years old. She was my first grade teacher. She actually remembered me. Oh, really? And I didn't think anything of it when I was 6 years old. I mean, what do you remember when you're 6 other than, cartoons?
6-year-old girls, that's what you remember.
Well, you're a better man than I, that's for sure.
All right.
But she happened to be there. I had not seen the woman since I left first grade. I had no idea what happened. She came up to me, and we found out that I grew up in Lunenburg, so she was teaching Lunenburg, and then the next town over is Townsend. And she actually had moved to Townsend and taught in Townsend for years. And she was somebody I remember because she was just a dear, sweet lady. And I got a chance to a little bit of a reunion, and she said, "Oh, you were funny as a kid." And I was like, "I wish somebody had told me that." I'm the youngest of 5. They just told me I was funny looking. So
there you go. It's always good,
now I could actually make money with it.
Yeah, you do comedy, and years later you run into somebody you haven't seen in years, and they're like, "You do comedy, really? I can't believe it." And
you're actually funny.
It's who would have known, when people tell you were funny as a kid, but you're doing it professionally now. Yeah. So if you were the class clown in high school, stick with it. I don't care what the teacher says. Hey, my 11th grade math teacher told me I get nowhere in life by being the class clown, and now I'm a professional comic getting paid, so he can, you know what he can do. But all right, what we're going to do is we're going to stir this for 10 minutes at a low boil. You don't want to put it on too high, it's going to burn. And you're going to stir it occasionally, so you don't want it to stick. And we're going to get going with that. So I know on the comedy scene, Bruce, some nights are better than others, and some nights you have the great crowds, other nights you get people that are drunk, they heckle you, they want to be part of the show. What's one of the craziest stories you can tell me in your professional career? Something crazy happened to you?
It's funny. I did a benefit show at actually right in Fitchburg. It had some ladies making quilts and knitting things for charity, and it wasn't even really a show as much as it was just coming in and keeping these ladies going, and they did a great job. And I discovered something interesting that night. I discovered, now I don't really get heckled that much. I don't know why. Maybe I'm blessed. Maybe I get the special whatever. I don't know.
It's a good thing.
It doesn't happen that, I mean, it has happened, but very, very, very seldom. But I found out there's one person in the audience who is probably my worst heckler, and I can say this because she agrees with me. It's my wife.
Oh,
And it's not because she's trying to heckle me or even embarrass me. It's because she's kind of likes to be part of the show because I'm her husband. And it's kind of like, sweetie,
Leave it to the
I
professional.
practiced this and wrote this material. Go away, you know. And she's a dear, sweet lady. She really is. But she's got kind of that Lucille Ball complex.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's got that Lucille.
And they don't get, they think they're trying to be a part of the show and they're helping you, and it's like, you didn't practice your routine so you can deal with a drunk for a half hour. I did an outdoor concert one time, and the guy had way too many spirits, and he heckled me. I literally had to tell him off for a half hour, and after the show, I went to the promoter, and I'm like, why didn't somebody go stop this guy? He's like, oh, the crowd was cracking up so bad, you telling him off. I just figured I'd let you go. Do you think I showed up to tell off a drunk for a half hour? Funny or not, that's not what you practice to do. It's not what you want to do. But
it's not what we do. So.
like I said, some nights are better than others. And wow, this is looking good and unhealthy. But you know, hey, you're not eating dessert to work out later, I guess,
you don't
right?
get this big by eating healthy.
That's right. Anything in moderation is good, folks. Okay. All right, we're doing good, and we're going to stir this. Getting there. Yeah, we're going to stir a little bit more. About 10 minutes you want to stir it. We're getting there. So, when you were growing up and you wanted to do comedy, who were some of the mainstream comics that influenced you that you used to watch to make you want to do comedy?
Well, it's interesting, and it's at this point, I don't want to say it's cliche, but it's not. It's something a lot of folks haven't really have always heard, that Bill Cosby was a big influence, and he was actually the first comedy record that I listened to or bought. Before that, it was just
comedy's TV dad. He's everybody's dad from television.
Right.
Sure.
Well, this was long before. We're talking 70s, and a friend of mine had an 8-track. Remember 8-tracks?
Oh yeah, way back when.
Way back in the day.
We're dating ourselves now, Bruce.
Back in the day, Anyway. We listened to one, and me and my friend, we would just howl and we would just riff off that, and then so Cosby was a big thing, because I mean Cosby was everybody's TV dad. I still have him. I had breakfast with him yesterday. I have a great dad. Both my parents are fantastic people, and my dad gave me the courage to go out and do that. Didn't understand anything about the entertainment industry or being an entertainer. But he says, hey, you can be a bum if you want, but just be a good one,
Be the best at what you do.
Yeah. So, but Cosby was really
that was your big influence, yeah?
Big influence, and then in the '80s, was Eddie Murphy, but also, believe it or not, Billy Crystal, because most of what I heard Billy Crystal say was clean.
Yeah, another couple guys, Bill Cosby, Billy Crystal, other guys kept it clean.
But that's Billy's just. He's one of my heroes because just the stuff he comes out with.
One of the best at improv, just off the top of his head.
Yeah,
you don't have to have it planned out. He can just make it snap like that. Yeah, you see something.
But also, when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Jerry Lewis movies. Matter of fact, one of my favorite
One of my heroes, Jerry Lewis. Absolutely.
He actually, the original Nutty Professor I just watched the other day, it still to this day cracks me up. Not that Eddie Murphy didn't do with his, but just the original, just something about the style of that was just right.
And another thing about Jerry Lewis being one of my personal heroes is my sister had muscular dystrophy, and he's another comic that came back with the MDA benefits. He did more for raising money for charity than
$5 million.
Yeah, some crazy amount he raised. That's great he gave back like that. All right, we got this to a slow boil here, Bruce, and we don't want to burn it, so we're going to take it off our little stove, and we're going to let that cool for a little bit. Going to turn our little burner off here, here. And you want to let that cool until you can handle it with your hands, because we're going to be making it into bowls. And we don't want to touch it right now unless we're going to go to the hospital with third-degree burns. So
I got to be somewhere later.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. Okay. So as we're going here on the local scene, I know you play the local scene a lot. Who are some of your favorite comics on the local scene to work with?
Well, I enjoy working with you, obviously.
Well, thank you, Matt. All right.
Anyway, Christy Brennan, I've done
Krista
some shows.
Bitsy Burnett, yeah.
Bitsy,
Got a
we've
bright
done
future
several
ahead of
shows
her,
with her. Millhouse cracks me up.
Well, yeah, we had him on one of the episodes. He's been on the Comedy Kitchen, and they got to see.
Some of the other guys. Just trying to think of the guys who we work with who are pretty good. I can see their faces. I'm drawing a blank at the moment.
You're like me. I'm bad with names myself. I got to meet you 5 times for a minute.
That guy, yeah, he's pretty funny.
They're all good up there.
But yeah, they are.
We get a good crew of young comics up at JD Chasers, and they're ready to take the next step, and that's where they're working it out in that room. Joke in the Box Comedy Clubs. Look it up on my website, and it's going to be good stuff. All right, so what are some of your favorite holiday desserts, Bruce, that you like to eat? Other than the coconut balls are going to be your favorite, but other than that, what are some of your favorite desserts?
Love a good pecan pie.
Oh yeah, pecan pie.
Lemon meringue, of course, the classic American apple.
Yeah.
See holiday desserts. I actually, like I was saying to a friend the other day, they're chocolate-covered espresso beans, and they aren't really beans. The espresso, I think they got to do something to them to make them.
I've never had them.
They're actually pretty tasty. They actually have sort of a coffee, chocolatey kind of flavor to them. It's actually
different styles. You got something different. Yeah, that's for sure.
And usually, I like nuts because, let's face it, I am nuts.
Hey, we are, right?
Yeah, you have to be a comic, right? But it was. A lot of those. Occasionally, I like to. I don't know if you ever had Jordan almonds. Those are kind of interesting. I like to go to the store in the those bulk. At the supermarket, you get all those bulk things like yogurt covered raisins, yogurt covered peanuts. I've been eating more trail mix now to try to control.
So what was something your mom made when you were a child? What was your favorite dessert your mom made that you always look forward to eating every Christmas?
Meringue.
Lemon meringue, she go down.
Yeah, that was big, and she made an apple, and she made actually killer blueberry. My brother loves blueberry. My mom
blueberry
literally make a blueberry pie just for my brother.
Really?
But yeah.
Well, I get a cream cheese pie every year for me. Mom makes it. It's my favorite.
But then there's also I like a key lime pie.
Key lime, good stuff.
It's good stuff. And then there's vanilla bean cheesecake.
Cheesecake,
vanilla bean. It's not really cheesy. It's more vanilla beany. It's not really.
But it's different and different.
But it's tasty. Yeah, it's very tasty.
All right. So next thing we're going to do here is we need 1 cup of nuts. So, hey, like you said, we're all nuts. All right. I think those are pre-measured, but let's throw them in our little cup here just in case.
Make sure. Right here for you.
And we're pretty much measured out. I'm going to pour those nuts, some Planters peanuts or any kind of nuts. Pour those right in, and we're going to keep that stirring up a little as we do that. All right, after that, we are going to need our secret ingredient, and that is 2 cups of Rice Krispies. Got some Rice Krispies over there. I want to pour a couple cups right in here, and we will be good to go.
So pour that in there.
We're looking pretty nutty.
Yeah, it's a nutty thing. I'm glad I had breakfast this morning, otherwise this would have been gone by now.
See, this will top off your breakfast, Bruce. See, you have a little bit of breakfast healthy, and then you finish off with the coconut balls. All right, pour it right in there. 1 cup.
Right in there.
Looking good, and we need 1 more cup after that.
Alrighty then.
This is looking pretty good, see? You don't want the Rice Krispies for breakfast? Fire away!
Yeah.
Whamma jamma! I actually got a compliment on that line. In one episode, everything I said whamma jamma, and apparently that's my new catchphrase because everybody around Leominster, they see me there, whamma jamma! I say, yeah, that's me. So, hey, it's good like that. I don't mind being the whamma jamma guy. It's all good. All right. So let's tell me this, Bruce. As we're winding down here, getting ready to make our coconut balls, after it's all said and done, you get to the end of your career, you look back on comedy, you look back on everything you've done. What do you hope to be remembered by? What do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? What are we going to remember Bruce Chester for?
I want to leave a lasting legacy of good, solid family entertainment stuff where people like they can pull out a DVD of a movie I did or of a stand-up bit that I did and he says, hey, can we watch this, Mom? It's, oh yeah, that's really funny. Let's put that in. They don't have to, worry about, me, going off on a tirade about, the different parts of the anatomy. But it's just something where if I can leave something tangible something where it's, people can enjoy for years. My grandkids, my great grandkids can someday say, oh, that's my grandfather. I'm proud of him because he's lucked this thing for us. And that would be pretty much, one of the things I'd like to leave.
That's a good memory, sure, when they look back on you and you do all that, and it's your legacy, I guess. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Don't bother, Dan. Okay, you know what? I talk about her enough. We're going to get it on camera now. I forgot my bowl for the coconut. Mom, run it up here for me. We'll get you on. She's shaking her head. She don't want to be on camera. We're going to put, she's all dressed up. Give it up for Mom. Give me a hug. Mwah, I love my mom. Turn, face the camera. Hi. Mom right here, okay? Thank you, Mom. Okay, thank you. One more time for Mom. I love Mom. She's a sweetheart. Okay, now you've met my mom right out to the studio audience there, and it's all good. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to need to pour the coconut right in this dish here that she just brought us up.
Oh,
I don't think we need the whole thing. Just cover the bottom of that dish.
These convenient scissors.
No, sure.
And we'll take it off. And will that work?
That's looking yummy.
Alrighty.
All right, now here's the trick. We're going to get a little bit of Pam here, okay? Because if we pick these up right now, it's sticky and it's going to stick to our fingers. So we're going to spray a little bit of this Pam on our hands, and that way they're not going to stick to it. Whamma jamma. Whamma jamma.
Okay.
Spray away.
I've never.
He held his hand like I was going to spray it, but you.
I've never sprayed Pam on my hands before. Fortunately,
we're ready to go. All right. Gives you a little greasy feeling, right?
Yeah.
A little greasy. What we're going to do, we're going to pull a little bit of this out on our spoon, okay?
Okay.
It's not too hot. It's just a little bit hot, so be careful.
Okay.
We're going to roll that up into a little ball with our hand. Once we got the little ball, we're going to roll it in our coconut.
Okay.
All right. Voila. We got some coconut on the ball. I'm going to grab a little trusty paper towel over here that Mom brought. I'm going to set it right on there. So go ahead. Just watch out. It is a little bit hot.
Okay. We'll just take
we have TV time constraints we have to stick to. Or
right.
We could have let it cool a little bit more, but they're not looking too bad.
Ooh, that is hot.
All right, a little bit. Just be careful. See, the Pam is good for burns, too. See, a little burn, you're all set with Pam.
And we'll just roll that
right
stuff
in there.
All over the place here.
See, I look forward to eating this stuff after the show. That's like really the best part of the whole show is after the cameras go off and we dig in. Right? That's good stuff, right? All right, looking good. Set it right on our paper towel there.
Just wants to take off there.
One, two.
We'll do another one.
Roll that one up. And, all right, 1, 2, 3. We'll make one more, give us 2 each, and
Already?
we're going to steal a little bit in between, see? Because it's finger looking good, folks.
It is finger looking good.
That's all.
Yummy.
All right, as you do that, we're going to let these cool. And like I said, we have time constraints, so we got a couple prepared here just for the people. And if you want to get a zoom in on that after they cool, that's what you're going to be looking like with the coconut balls. I mean, is that something you look forward to with the holidays?
Yeah, it looks very tasty.
It looks pretty good.
Tasty.
Mom's secret recipe. All right, so I'm going to set that back off to the side now. All right, so now we know how to make the coconut balls for the holiday. We found out about Bruce Chester. We're getting toward the end. Would you be nice enough to give the audience some of your stand-up comedy?
I would be honored.
All right, we'll be right back with the comedy Jesus. I love Jesus. Comedy genius of Bruce Chester. We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back to the Comedy Kitchen, and hey, you know how to make the world-famous Mom's coconut balls now, and we did the cooking thing, now we're going to do the comedy thing. Remember to check out my website, support local comedy, www.dennisworth.webs.com, Joke in the Box Comedy Clubs, and one of the guys it has been my pleasure to have in my rooms. Please give it up for the comedy genius of Mr. Bruce Chester. Go get him, buddy.
Appreciate it. Well, it's great to be here in the Comedy Kitchen. We had a great time with Dennis making coconut balls, and look forward to sampling them later. Neat thing about me, I'm ex-military, so I'm here to salute all you veterans out there. I, too, am a veteran. Spent some time in the Middle East and Iraq, and had some interesting things happen to me there. First of all, I have one of the most glamorous jobs. that you can ever get in the United States military. But before I tell you that, I'll tell you a little bit about Iraq. It's hot. It's brutally hot. It's hot like they haven't invented hot yet. That's how hot it is. It gets up to about 150 degrees. And people don't believe me when I say that, and then, well, actually they do believe me when I say that because they weren't there. But the interesting thing is that it's just, they said, well, is it a humid hot? Is it a dry heat? And I'm going, after 120, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So while being there, getting back to that glamorous job that I had, was controlling all the chemical toilets on a particular post for the United States military. Now, think 150 degrees, chemical toilets. Yeah, that writes itself. Anyway, but the thing is about that, the great thing about that is that I actually got a lot of power that way. And the neat thing about that is that nobody could mess with me. I actually took my porta-john away from one guy. He actually outranked me. I was a captain. He was a major. But he didn't tell me the truth about, take my porta-johns away from me. And he actually lied to me and said that he ordered them. Now, I did all the paperwork, so I knew he was lying to me. So the next day, I'm coming along with my truck. And I'm driving. I got my KBR forklift behind me. I said, take that one and take that one. He came out, freaked out, and said, what are you doing? He said, I said that, well, sir, you got too many porta-johns. Knowing full well I had 2 warehouses full of those things. If he just asked, I would have done the paperwork for him. But he lied to me. So I had a little fun take. And I kid you not, that is a true story. I took 2 porta-johns with him and used military regulations to do it. That's good to be the king. And then people would make fun of me, and then I threatened to take their porta-johns away, and they stopped making fun of me because in Iraq there is no indoor plumbing. So it's kind of an interesting thing. But it was an interesting experience, but a little bit different than now. Everybody's talking about Syria. I hope we don't go. Don't want to really get involved in that. And contrary to popular belief, I do like our president. He's actually he's a decent man, and he actually people make a big deal about his birth certificate, and I said, "What are you making the big deal? Just ask him for it. He's got several, So it's kind of a well-known thing. But I don't do politics too much. I usually talk about it more than make jokes about it. But sometimes there's things just funny, like gun control. I knew of a lady, she's an LA lady, about 86, and she got pulled over. And she was a little bit fast, but not too bad. So from what I understand, the police officer was going to just let her off with a warning. And police officer walks up to the car and says, "Ma'am, can I see your license registration?" So she pulls out a license registration, and he happened to see that she had a gun permit. And he had puzzled him, and he said, "Ma'am, do you have a gun on you right now?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, I have a 22 in my purse." "Oh, okay." "Oh, and I also have a 45 in the glove box. I have a shotgun in the trunk. I have several shotguns and small pistols at home. I also have a 357 Magnum." And after she says all this, the police officer goes, "Man, he's flabbergasted. You'd never expect an 86-year-old lady to have all these guns." And it just puzzled him. He says, "Ma'am, I have to ask you, what are you afraid of?" She looked him dead square in the eye and says, "Not a darn thing." So, I guess that's all I have. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you for having me on the Comedy Kitchen, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for being on, Bruce. Thank you very much. All right. I'd like to thank our guest politician, Steve Cody. Get out there and vote. I'd like to thank our guest, Mr. Bruce Chester, great comedy genius. Thank you to our studio audience. Thank you to our film crew. And thank you to you at home. Until next time, remember to eat well and laugh well, folks. Good night.